Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE NXT review for October 11th, 2017, and it opens right up with an exclusive, and um, it starts off with a video called Johnny Gargano is ready for Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega's Mind Games. Pretty much he gets asked about the rematch coming up with Andrade Almas, and he says that he's ready for it. He's not going to let their Mind Games mess with him, just like they did at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. And then the next video is called Burch promises Lorcan that he will give Sullivan the fight of his life. So that pretty much just explains what happens in that. Because only Lorcan wants to go out there in his corner, and Danny Burch says that he's not medically cleared, so that kind of led us to that. So then we had the actual show itself. We had Percy Watson, Nigel McGuinness, and Mauro Ranallo on commentary for the show. And we had the first match. It was an NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way qualifying match. It was Peyton Royce with Billie Kay ringside versus Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan. And this match actually just kicked right off. It was like the first thing you saw on the show. Like you see the iconic duo like making their entrances. I thought that was kind of cool. And yeah, overall this match was alright. It was kind of ruined by Nikki Cross because I just don't care about her movesets at all. Like I've talked about in the last review, I just think Nikki Cross just doesn't fit this gimmick at all. And I just think if it was put on somebody else, I think it'd be better on somebody else. But yeah, so this match had a couple of funny spots and stuff. Like Nikki Cross kept talking shit to Peyton Royce, and Peyton Royce acted all scared. And then when Liv Morgan did it, she was all fine talking to Liv Morgan's face. So then Nikki Cross and Liv Morgan double clothesline Royce outside the ring. And then eventually Nikki Cross is just kicking their asses. So they both catch Nikki Cross like in a high cross body, and they slam her down to the ground. Peyton Royce gets the heat on Liv Morgan for a while. Then eventually, she has like a triangelo in the ropes, and Nikki Cross comes in and scratches her with her nails, which looks stupid. And Nikki Cross starts to make a comeback, and it looks like she's gonna win. And then the Undisputed Era come out with Taria Conte, I think is how you say her name. She was in the Mae Young Classics. And pretty much they ask her to go out there and pretty much screw over Nikki Cross. And at first it doesn't work. She pulls her leg out from underneath her, and Nikki Cross is able to knock her off the apron. And Peyton Royce rolls her up, but Nikki Cross is able to kick out, which at first I thought was stupid because it made the interference meaningless, but there's more to it later. Then eventually Nikki Cross looks like she's about to win by pinning Liv Morgan. Taria Conte pulls her out of the ring. Nikki Cross chases her around, and Peyton Royce hits a heel kick and then a exploder suplex for the win. An exploder suplex for the win. And yeah, so now Peyton Royce is in the Fatal 4-Way match at NXT TakeOver Houston, which I'm fine with. I actually kind of like this finish. I actually kind of like that the Undisputed Era fucked over Nikki Cross since they're feuding with Sanity, and I kind of like that they tied in that feud. And it looks like that Taria Conte is going to join the Undisputed Era, so that way, because it's probably going to build to like a mixed tag match on a future episode of NXT, where it will be the Undisputed Era and Taria Conte versus Sanity. So I like this. I actually thought this made sense. I kind of wish Sanity would have done like a little promo later on, responded to this of how, but they didn't happen. And the Undisputed Era did a promo later on or something. But overall, I still thought this was good. Then we had the next match. It was Lio Rush versus the Velveteen Dream. This match actually was good. Lio Rush looked very aggressive in this match. He had a sick tornado DDT. But eventually the Velveteen wins with his, I forget what they call it, but it was his elbow drop. And he wins, and then afterwards he mocks Aleister Black by sitting down in his crisscross applesauce position. And obviously it made sense for the Velveteen Dream to go over since he's feuding with Aleister Black. I just don't understand what... Lio Rush looked pretty strong in this match, but I kind of don't understand why you would hype this guy up as a big signee and then you're just jobbing him out pretty much. It's dumb. So I didn't like that part, but the match was good, and I'm fine with obviously the Velveteen Dream going over. I just wish that the Velveteen Dream had a better gimmick and stuff. So then next we had Lars Sullivan versus Danny Burch. Pretty much Lars Sullivan just kills Danny Burch, which makes sense because he's a monster. He should be squashing Danny Burch, and he beats him with the side spine buster. The side one-handed spine buster, and he beats him. Lars Sullivan's just a monster. I love watching him destroy people every week, and I think it's awesome. And then next we had the Street Profits versus Damian Smith and Marquios Espada. I think is how you say that. And it was a squash. Street Profits win when Angelo Dawkins hits the one-handed spine buster, the elevated spine buster, and Montez Ford hits a frog splash onto one of the guys for the win. And Montez Ford was awesome in this match. I love the Street Profits. I really want them to hold the NXT tag titles in the future, and I think that'd be awesome. Then we had the main event. It was Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien with Zelina Vega ringside. This was a good main event here. I enjoyed it. Johnny Gargano dominates the first half of the matchup. He, takes Almas down with some quick strikes. He gets him in the Gargano escape. Almas is able to get to the ropes. I think that was a bot because Almas did like his thing where he surfs across the ropes, but I think he slipped. And Almas hits he goes for a suplex in the ring. Gargano fights out of it, but Almas hits a backbreaker and into like a reverse DDT on the apron. And then Andrade Cien almost dominates the matchup for a while. Johnny Gargano makes his comeback. He hits a two-pay suicida on the outside. He hits a super kick. He hits a moonsault on the outside. He gets him in the Almas though makes a comeback. Gargano had gone for a spear, but Almas tried to catch him on the DDT, and then the whole thing happened when they hit the two-pay suicida and everything. Almas hit the I forget what they call it, but a German suplex where he hold Johnny Gargano's arms together, and Johnny Gargano hit another super kick in this match just right out of nowhere, and I thought that was cool. Almas goes for his hammerlock DDT off the top turnbuckle, but Gargano's able to fight out of it, and he goes for a power bomb off the turnbuckle, a sunset flip power bomb, but almost lands on his feet. Then eventually Gargano finally gets Andrade Cien almost into the Gargano escape, and we're about to have pretty much the same thing happen from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Zelina Vega takes off her jacket, and we see that she's wearing a hashtag DIY t-shirt, and this kind of causes Johnny Gargano to kind of release, not put as much pressure on the Gargano escape, but then he says that doesn't faze him anymore, but that slight distraction allowed Almas to get to the ropes. Then eventually they both start exchanging rolls with each other. Almas throws him face first into the turnbuckle, and he hits two knees to the back of the head onto Gargano, and then he hits the hammerlock DDT for the win, and Andrade Cien Almas goes over. I thought this was a good match. My only problem with Andrade Cien Almas is he's a really good wrestler. There's just nothing else there. He's just a flat character. They've tried to do everything with Andrade Cien Almas, and he just doesn't have that. He's just bland. They've done everything they can. They brought him in as a baby face, then they turned him heel, and then they're doing this gimmick with him where he's with Zelina Vega, and he's just so bland that nothing works, and I just don't think he's ever gonna click. But that's just me. He needs something. He just needs that spark. I don't know what they can do with Andrade Cien Almas. But I like this match. I like that Gargano lost because he's supposed to be that underdog, and I kind of like that they're trying to make it seem like that he still hasn't shaken over the DIY breakup yet. So I like that. That kind of still sprinkles that feud in there. Overall, I thought this week's episode was actually a pretty good episode. My only problem with this episode was I thought there was too many matches. I think they should have had a little bit more promos and stuff, like I said, with Sanity or the Undisputed Era. But that's just me. But yeah, let me give my star ratings for each match. For the women's match, I'm probably going to give that match probably 2.5 stars. I thought it was a decent women's match. The Leo Rush versus the Velveteen Dream, I thought that was actually a good match. 3 stars. Lars Sullivan versus Danny Burch, 2 stars. It did what it needed to do. Tag team match, also 2 stars. Did what that needed to do. Then Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. I thought that was a really good match. I'll give it 3.25. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. No more videos coming tonight, so I'm just going to do my plugs. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video for... Sorry, my ear popped. So people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to my CM Brothers Own the Talking Data channel and this channel as well. And click on the bells. That way, every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notification for it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.